Okay. Welcome, everybody. It's Thursday night. It's just a tad bit after 7. This is Stacy B., your host of the new Empowered Woman Show, where we interview strong women who are living out of the box lives with awesome platforms that I want to share with you to empower you. So we'll be right back in a second when we do our promo, and we're going to get down with how to power network, the power in networking. So stay right there. And we're back. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me this evening on the new Empowered Woman Show. Again, I'm your host, Stacy B. And remember, if you have any questions or comments for tonight's show, please give StreamYard permission to display your name if you want your comments shown on air. All right, so we're going to get started with my guest, Tandra Price of Conversation Over Coffee. How are you, Tandra?
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here with you.
Awesome. So happy that you could join me. Well, I'm going to introduce you first. My guest tonight is Miss Tandra Price. She is a speaker, author, trainer, and networking coach. With over 15 years of experience as a network marketer and sales professional, Tandra created her Next Ventures coaching and creating an empowerment movement for women in business and those aspiring. This concept quickly became successful, which led Tandra to create Conversation Over Coffee and You Connected. Tandra's women empowerment brands focus on connections, networking, and resources. Much of Tandra's success is attributed to her focus on training women to focus on 10 things before 10 o'clock. I can't wait to get that. And ensuring that we have the right mindset, goals, communication, and support systems in place. The pillars, connections, networking, and resourcing, with the added bonus of accountability, have proven to be techniques needed to effectively network, strategies to grow businesses, and gaining resources to become a valued resource to others. Welcome again, Miss Tandra.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here with you.
Awesome, awesome. So let's get into this topic of networking. Okay. You know,
Okay.
I know when I think of networking, I don't know about anyone else, but when I think of networking, I think of crowds, I think of business cards, and I immediately get anxiety. Okay, I'm telling you because I'm an introvert, and it's like when I know I have to talk to a whole bunch of people, I shut down.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay. So
yes.
what is networking and why is it vital for businesses?
You know what? Networking is really about building relationships up. And I think a lot of people kind of put more into it than what it really is. But it's really what we do every day. It's really an organically relate conversation that we're having. It just seems like we put a little bit more emphasis because of the person who we're talking to. But a lot of times, if we just sit back and relax and just calm down, it's really just having a conversation. But it's really vital to business right now because that's really one of the ways that you're being able to communicate and exchange information. I mean, that's how we're able to actually talk to partners and get contracts and get speaking engagements and things of that nature is by talking with the other counterpart. But it really is just like having a conversation.
Wow, just like having a conversation. I
Yes.
mean, so why do you think people are so, I'll speak for myself. Why do you think, I'm so nervous? Or maybe other people may be nervous as well when it
You
comes
know,
to networking.
when it comes to networking, people have to figure out what to say. And I have a free guide. It's a 15 way to start a conversation, but it's really just people get intimidated because they don't know what to say. But we
Okay.
say it all the time, every day. We're always talking. So it's like when you go into a networking event and there's a lot of people there, you're thinking, oh my God, who do I go talk to? I mean, where am I going next? It really is when you come into that room, it's no other different than you scope out that room and you figure out what everybody's doing, what crowds are who, what people are talking to who. I mean, it's like you do a 30-second panoramic view of the
Okay.
room to kind of figure out exactly where you're going. And you still do that even when you're doing virtual networking. It's still that panoramic view that you're doing when you're trying to figure out, okay, what is it that exactly I need to do and where I need to position myself to talk to who I need to talk to. And you
Wow.
look for the entry points when you go. If you're doing local, you're looking for the entry points, how people are standing, how they, if they're eating, drinking a beverage or if they're eating a snack. I mean, you have to just kind of give a real good view. I know that sounds like a lot, but a
Okay.
real good
Oh my
view of
gosh.
how it is when you're networking.
Okay, wow. Hey, Ebony, thank you for joining us. Again, please like and please share the broadcast. There's a lot of great information we're about to get today. And also, again, if you want to show your comment, questions, chime in with us tonight, please ask Tandra anything. Okay. But if you want to have your name shown, you must give StreamYard permission to show your name through Facebook. So glad you can join us, Ebony. Okay, so you have just given out so much right there. Okay. On now we have to scope the room, we have
Yes,
to scan the room, see the
yes,
entry points and all of that. So it's so much more than just walking on in the room, right? And just standing there because I'd walk in the room and get a beverage and stand in the corner. I'd go in the corner. Okay. So now, because we've been quarantined and so much is on virtual now,
hmm
um, it seems like it would be much easier now. So how do we do that now in this sphere, of the virtual,
of the
what we're
virtual.
doing now? Hmm.
Well, even right now, networking is it's really much easier right now. It really
Hmm.
is because you have the audience right there in front of you each and every day. All you have to do is just, sign on to your computer, look at, figure out what time of the day that most people are on, normally between 1 and 3, Monday through Friday, and just figure out, okay, hey, I can have lunch with this person at 1 o'clock because there's a lot of people there. Or guess what? Come 3 o'clock, I can always do another little mid chat. But it's
Okay.
still kind of the same way, even with virtual networking. And there's so many different opportunities now, and you can have a much bigger audience than what you have when you go locally. So that's kind of
Right.
the difference with it.
Okay. So let's see. Um, what are some misconceptions about networking? Is there anything that people think networking is that it really isn't? I mean,
Um, a lot of people just think networking is really like a lot of cliquish groups. That's kind of what it is. I mean, you have a lot of groups that prior to the COVID-19 that you would, pay to go to. And not to say that any of those groups are cliquish, but it's really what you put into the group and who you're really trying to connect with. Because me, myself, when I go to networking, I have a plan. I already have my plan mapped out. I've already did the kind of the scope of the event before I went there. Kind of know who's going to be at the event, who's hosting the event. Because if you know who's hosting the event, you know kind of who the people that follow them. So you kind of do your due diligence about even on virtual. You kind of do the same thing. You figure out who's hosting the event. You kind of look at their following. You find them either on any of the social media platforms, and just kind of do an overview before you even go into an event. But some of the misconception is it is like a cliquish group that I'm going to be on this event, or I'm going to go to this event, and I'm not going to get much out of this event. I'm just kind of going just to be going. But I mean, you have to have a plan anytime that you go on networking to figure out exactly what your purpose is, what's the outcome you're looking for before you even go into it.
Oh, yeah, because I know I can't tell you when the last time I have been to a networking event, honestly, because I just felt like, I was just going and just passing out my cards and grabbing a whole bunch of other cards and not even following up. No one is
Yes.
following up. So, how important is it that, you just don't go to the networking event, but you have to follow up with
Oh
those
yes.
contacts,
Yes.
right?
The money's in the follow up. I'm telling you right now, the money is in the follow up. If you don't follow up, then I mean, what's really the purpose of going? That's why you
Hmm.
really have to have a strategic plan before you even go out to any type of networking. You got to know who you're talking to, what you're going to do. Anytime you get a business card or any type of contact, you need to make sure that you are following up with at least within the next 24 hours because life happens.
Yeah.
So by that time, they're going to be then forgot about you. They're not going to remember you. And even when I used to do, and I still do it now, even when I do virtual networking events, I would always have me kind of a quick text message that I would send out to them. So if I got people's business cards before I left the parking lot, I would send that quick message out to them just to give them a quick reminder that I'm going to be calling them within the next day or two. And you
Okay.
do the same way with virtual. If you are on a virtual platform and you see some people that you want to talk to, again, 9 times out of 10, you go to their social media platform, you send them a quick message. Hey, I see that you joined X, Y, and Z. Just kind of wanted to see what you got out of it or what you thought about it. Hey, can we grab a cup of coffee? Kind of the same way.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Hey, Jackie, thank you for joining us. Chime in, ask us anything because, the ladies that are on now, they have businesses and, ask any question. What question do you have about networking in your particular field? So you said, go to the virtual pages now, go to their platforms
Yeah.
and reach out to them
Mhm.
and all of that. So I see some other people are joining. If you want to comment, please give StreamYard permission to show your name if you want to have your comment or question shown during the broadcast. Okay, so now that I've reached out to these, to my contacts and things like that. Um, what, let's see, what was my question? Just went out in my head. So once I've taken the time, you said within 24 hours to reach out to these
Mhm.
people, right?
You want to reach out
Um,
to them within 24 hours for
okay,
sure to make sure
okay,
that it's fresh and new. Like I said, life happens, and you have to be really strategic of what you're going to say. Not just, uh, hey, I wanted to follow up with you. You need to be specific of how you met that person. Hey, I met you at such and such event. It was pretty awesome. Hey, would love to connect with you. When it's a good time, and I always give people a specific time when you want to reach out with them. Hey, how does Monday or Tuesday work for you? 9 or 10 o'clock.
okay. So maybe that was that question. Jacqueline just asked the question. What should your intro be after you followed up with them? So how would you approach that?
I
Oh,
think I would approach. Like I always approach people that, depending on if we're doing virtually or networking. So, like right now, I approach people when I meet them. Hey, it was so nice to meet you. I saw that you had tuned into. I'm just gonna say, uh, wine and dine event. It was pretty amazing. There was some awesome ladies there. If you have some time, either Monday or Tuesday of next week, between 9 and 10, I would love to sit down or maybe do a Zoom video chat with you, a Zoom conference call with you. Which day works best for you?
okay, awesome. So it's just that simple. And I think, and I think it's like you said, a little easier now that we're in the virtual space.
Yes, in the virtual
So much more easier. Okay.
space.
So talk to us about your platform, Conversation Over Coffee.
Yeah, so my platform, Conversations Over Coffee, it actually started. So just to kind of go further back, I have always been doing women empowerment events, and I do them in different locations and cities. The last one I did was in Washington, D.C., and it was called Reset. And we would have different speakers come out and talk and kind of empower women. And so much had really transpired with these events because of the fact that I had a good friend of mine, and it's kind of crazy because we don't really know how we affect what's really going on with our friends or our family, because everybody has their own story. But really come to find out that my friend, she was about to commit suicide, and I particularly had this event, and she stood up and she says, Tandra, I'm so thankful and glad that you are having these events and empowering these women, because a month ago I thought about committing suicide, and my heart just dropped and broke because of that. So I continue to do those, but it just shows that when a group of women, your rally, your tribe, your circle around each other, really come out and support each other, what a difference that makes. So moving forward, my husband works for one of the largest for one of the largest jet engine companies, and we've been doing a lot of traveling. So I would always go into a town, didn't know anyone, but I was always good with talking. That was just my wheelhouse. I could talk to anybody. So I would
Okay.
set up these mini lady groups around every place I went, and so I was just building my network as I went. Fast forward, we've been in the Oklahoma City area a little over 6 years, and I started this group, being a good friend of mine who introduced me to actually a home-based business. At that particular time, I was working for a nonprofit organization, ended up getting laid off, and thank God, I wasn't very judgmental, and I was open-minded when she showed me the opportunity to be a part of this concept. Moving forward, we would go to a particular coffee shop every day, sit down, open up our book of business, and we would just kind of help each other on different strategies that we were using. Lord and behold, there was another group of ladies behind me, and they were like, kind of doing the same thing. A few days later, one of the ladies came back and she said, "Oh my God, I have been looking for you." And I said, "Oh my God, you've been looking for me?" She said, "Yes." She said, "You just don't believe what you said." And I said, "Oh my God, I say a lot of things, so please don't hold me to it." Like, you know how we are. We say stuff, we don't really know what it is. So she says, "No, whatever I said to her, help her land a $5,000 deal." So I said, "Oh my God, pull your chair up and come on over to the conversation." And so
Wow.
4 years later, now we are here with conversations over coffee, and we are now in six different, oh no, we're in maybe 8 different locations. We're all in the Oklahoma City area, Wichita, Texas. We have a location in Hawaii, and we do a group in Mexico as well. Just started Atlanta before the actual COVID-19. But the whole purpose and goal of it was to actually focus on building relationships, because that's really what networking is. It's an
Yeah.
organic, really relationship. And it was different than your different networking events. You know, you didn't get to come to the event and present yourself and do your 30-second or 90-second speech. But we're really talking about the juggles and struggles of what it takes to be in business and how we can help each other win. So from there, I was doing all these events locally. COVID-19 came, and I was like, oh, I'm going to kind of stop and concentrate on some other things that I had kind of put on the back burner. And the ladies was like, oh, no, I got to have my coffee. So I said, okay, so I started doing them every Thursday. But this time I put a twist on it, and I collaborated with other ladies that are doing more intent and purpose in their business. I said, you know what? If you don't mind coming to talk to my coffee lovers and really giving them your story, besides just listening to me, but hear other people's stories and backgrounds, how they really pivot and elevated in their business. And so that's kind of how it all started.
Okay. And
I
do
know I
me a
said a whole lot.
Oh, no, 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 no. And that, no, it was awesome because that is amazing how that came out of that one incident.
Yeah.
And, just how you poured into that other person, like you said, okay, what did I say? What did I say? And she landed this great contract.
Yes.
Okay. So before we move forward, do me a favor, Tandra,
Mm-hmm.
and hold your mic. Okay. Okay, because it's
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's hitting up against your neck. So I want to make sure everybody, they
There.
won't hear the feedback. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because we want to make sure everybody's hearing what you are saying. You don't have to hold it up, but
So,
just make sure it's not hitting
hitting my
your
thing.
your necklace or whatever. Yeah, it was hitting something.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so this networking, like you said something very important. You said that networking is not just about, going and just chatting it up, just willy-nilly, but it's about the relationship.
Yes, it is about the core
Yeah.
relationships of building business. Because here's the thing about it: networking should be for the long term and not for the short term goal. And when
Hmm.
you're trying to build business, because you don't never know who that other person knows. So when you're trying to build relationships up, that's just like our friendship. We want to have a friendship for a long time. And that's how you should treat your networking, just as in your business, because you're trying to grow your business. Anybody who's in business, I hope it's for the long haul and not for the short haul.
Mm.
Because
And
it takes a minute to really cultivate relationships, and you got to
right.
be for sure what kind of relationships that you're trying to make. Because even in networking, there's a couple of different things that you want to kind of look for when you're building business relationships with people.
Okay, so talk to us about that because that's also an important point. Like you don't get a good relationship just over one or two conversations,
No,
and like you said, you need to cultivate that business relationship as well because I don't know who you know and you don't know who I know.
that's
You
true.
know,
And a
you
lot of
know.
times people don't want to just hand over their portfolio to you. I mean, people, that is still the true thing. People do business with who they know, like, and trust. But you got to
Right.
kind of look at some of the principles of when you're out networking in even in your circle of people that you're trying to get to. Because like you have your doers. I always call them, what is it, five or four different things into networking. You have your doers, people who, are on a mission. And these are the type of people you want to connect with. People who said they're going to do what they say they're going to do. If you have an appointment with them, they're going to show up. They're
Hmm.
not going to stand you up, but there are actions behind what they actually do. And
Okay.
then you have those believers, people who are actually believing in you, in what
Uh-huh.
your vision is in your particular arena or industry. And then you have those particular connectors, people that is always willing to give. So there's a difference. You have connectors, you have givers, and you got getters.
Oh, okay, so under connectors, you have givers and getters.
Yeah, so people connectors, people are always willing to share resources and connections with you. Don't mind doing it. Don't mind giving it to you. You have those getters. That's what I call them. People that just want to come and get and don't want to give anything in return. And then if they don't
Oh,
see anything happening from the event, so a lot of times people come to events and they'll pass out their business card or they'll show their face and they'll think, hey, you know what? I'm with such and such business. You know what? Here's my card. I hope to contact you. Well, if you don't get a contact with that person and they're like, this wasn't for me. But you don't have to realize, again, when we're talking about cultivating relationships, it takes you about 7 or 8 times or touches before you actually even get someone to say, hey, I'll buy your product.
wow. So don't get discouraged if you put it out there a couple times. We've got to touch them 7 to 8 times.
Time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you hear that? You hear that? Any other questions or comments regarding this? So it's going to take I'm taking notes, okay? So
It's okay. That's
seven,
okay.
7 to 8 touches. Now, how do those touches look now in this space?
Those touches look like you're going to be doing a whole lot of video chat or text message or emailing. I mean, here's the thing about it is we want to give people value too. So when you actually meet somebody, that your very first thing shouldn't be doing your elevator pitch. That shouldn't be your first thing. Your first thing is to really get to know that person. You're actually trying to get information from them before you even want to show them your products or service. You don't even know if you want them to be a part of your business. That this may be a friend or referral that you can get to somebody else. So the first thing you have to do is really deeply dive into really getting to know that person. Find something in common that you both have that you could talk about. And
Hmm.
then secondly, I mean, I think the next thing you would want to do is just to make sure that um, you ask them some questions. I always tell people have at least 3 qualifying questions that when you're talking to people. And
Hmm.
another thing, when you're talking to people and you're asking people these 3 qualifying questions, they need to be about your business, but say them in a conversational way. Don't make it sound crazy, quirky, or, because people know, as us being in salespeople, we know when people are selling to us and we don't like to be sold to. We like to have a conversation, right?
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
people don't like that. And so you have to make everything really organically. And then once within those questions that you're asking, they'll either tell you yes or no, and then you'll know exactly what type of prospect that you have in front of you. You'll know what type of potential person that you have, that you can be the connector to connect them to somebody else because they may not fit what you want, what you're doing.
Wow, I'm telling you, I swear I didn't know any of this. I mean, I love the doers. You see, look, I'm scribbling and I can't
Mhm.
even see what my other one was. So, what is the doers, the
So you have the
believers,
doers, the believers. You really have
believers,
kind
and
of the
connectors?
dreamers, the people who have a dream. I mean, you want people who's going somewhere, who has a vision. You want some visionaries in your circle. I just call these your circle people. That you want to have some people that is going somewhere and doing something because that's going to motivate you and inspire you and get you going there. The more that you
Absolutely.
see, I mean, because that's what we do when people have things that they're doing and they're looking at you to be, I don't know, accountability partner or just,
Hmm.
that person to talk to and they're sharing those information with you. You want to be that person to say, hey, guess what? I'm gonna hold you to this and I'm gonna keep you and this is how it's gonna work. So
Wow.
and you have to be willing to, even as the gatekeeper that you're giving this information to, you have to be ready for the hard knock questions when they say, hey, this is what you said you were going to do, and you have to be able to be willing to take the truth about it, whether it's good, bad, or indifference.
Wow. You have taken networking. I mean, you have broken it down to the nth degree. You know, hey, Carlika, Best Night Menendez, all of that. You know who this one is. How are you, Nate? How are you? She said all of that. How are you, honey? Thank you for joining us. Now, Jacqueline says, don't pitch, just have a conversation.
Yeah, do not pitch. I'm telling you that it's the worst thing you can do. And then when you do pitch, and then here's the thing about it is because I'm in the travel and technology industry, and you can see through my Instagram pages, through my social media pages that I do a lot of traveling. So quite naturally, people think that I'm going to come to them and start talking to them about what I do, but I don't. I mean, I talk about something totally different. I talk about maybe something that's current events or something of that nature. I mean, we have to find different ways of common ground because people are going to circle back around and be like, oh, you know what? I know somebody who does travel, or I know somebody who does this. Let me refer you to them. And it's okay. It's okay to give a referral because guess what? It is no competition out here. There is too many businesses and people out here that you have enough business to go around. People don't know how, a lot of people within networking don't understand how they can collaborate without any type of competition.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Because
But like,
even in our group, I mean, even in the conversations over coffee group, anyone can come. I don't care if there's two people of the same industry because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, hey, how do I win today? How am I going to get a win today? That's
yeah.
exactly what we're talking about.
Now you've taken networking, like I said, to just a whole nother level, and that probably people never thought of, because I like I said, I'll speak for myself. Just thinking networking was just a whole bunch of folks getting together, like you said, a cliquish group, and really no one following up, no one nurturing the relationship, no one even starting out in a regular conversation.
Hmm.
Just starting out on your elevator pitch, which you said
Hmm.
do not start with.
Yes, not start with
So this is just wonderful information.
now. Not to say that you don't need your elevator
Right,
pitch.
right. You don't need to start with it.
Yes.
Right, right. Because I can
Right.
think of some businesses or things that I know when people immediately say this one line to me, I shut down. And I don't want to say the line, but I'm sure everybody will be like, oh yeah. Because as soon as I hear it, I just shut down because I'm like, okay, just tell me what it is, and so we can
You
get
know,
on.
it really, truly, too. Another thing that I used to do for play when people would ask me probably the same question, so hey, tell me exactly what do you do? People would always
Mhm.
ask that, and I would always say, you know what, I'm really looking for somebody to cook me some dinner tonight, and they'd be like, what? I said, that's what I really look. I mean, ask jokingly, because you know what? Let's break the
Yeah,
ice right quick. If
yeah,
you can find different ways to do your intro without actually having to say, oh, well, I do such and such, or I work for this amazing company. I mean, say something different.
that's good. That's good, Tandra. Jacqueline says she loves it. How do I get a win today? Because you don't hear that. People are, like, okay, I'm coming into a networking group who's somebody who is selling the same thing or doing the same thing that I'm doing, and we're talking to each other and say, how can we win today?
Hmm.
Really?
Yep.
And that's true empowerment, right?
That is very true empowerment.
That's true empowerment.
We're taking
So,
everything down to say, hey, guess what? Because I really feel like this: if you win, I win.
mhm,
And that's how we should all look at it. Because there's so much out here I mean, not everybody's gonna like me, not everybody may not, like your certain style. But guess what? It still doesn't hurt that I say, guess what? You know what? Well, what's her name has that same particular product. You know what? You might want to go and have she does different things. I tell people all the time, it is so important to plug into other people's events,
okay.
not just your own. Plug into other people's event. Go out and support other ladies that are doing something because you miss a whole lot of information. My tagline is the blessing is in the show up. You got to show up somewhere. And one thing in our business, we have two things in networking. Our goal is to generate leads and make sales. And how do you do that? How do you generate leads if you're not talking to somebody? How do you generate leads if you're not being where you need to be in order to meet somebody new?
Wow. We have to show up because it's not just going to drop out the sky, right?
Mm-mm.
It's not just going to drop out.
Mm.
Yeah, Carlika said we win together. She said we win together. Absolutely. So, when we come to your page to join the group,
Mhm.
Conversations Over Coffee, what are some regular, you mentioned it briefly earlier, what are some regular events that you hold within the group? I know you have a weekly call.
Yes. So I have a weekly networking event called Collaborative Conversation. It's still with coffee over conversation, but I put the twist on a collaborative because we're collaborating with other ladies. So we do that every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time. And then what I've done is I've actually kind of spun out another group from there, which is called WIN. And that is Women in Networking Gaining More Wins. And that's going to be a separate group from the Conversations Over Coffee group. But really, what the Conversation Over Coffee group is, it allows you to come in there, and post what you have going on, your events. I encourage all the ladies to try to participate. But that's kind of the very first stepping to show ladies, hey, okay, you can come in here. Let's network. Let me show you how to do posts. Let me show you how to do curiosity posts. Let me show you how to get your feet up as well as other different things that's going on.
Okay. So what is a curiosity post?
Curiosity post is when you make a post on your Facebook page and then you have other people comment it, but it's something that you're talking about that's not related to your business, but is making people curious about, what exactly does she do?
Hmm.
So it's a post that you make and you share on your page, and you actually have other people share that on their page. So I try to get everyone, or I do like a workshop on telling you how to do a curiosity post. And
Okay.
that curiosity post really is you have a post that you make. You can add a picture to it or whatever, but it's not for you to really tell what your business is. It's for you to get them curious about what you're doing. So then they'll ask questions, because that's
Wow.
really how you're trying to build your lead generation, is you want people to ask questions to you. And that's what we should be doing on our Facebook page anyway. We should be doing, challenges and things of that nature. We should be asking questions to get engagement through our pages.
Now those challenges are Jacqueline Shaw said that is very interesting. It is. I've never heard of that curiosity question. So back to what I was going to say, the challenges. Now, all of this makes up networking.
It does. It all makes up networking, because, like I said, the very two things that you need in your anybody's business, which is going to require you to go out and physically make a contact or make a conversation with somebody, is two things. You have to have leads for your business, and you have to make sales. Those are two things that are really a key component of what networking is. But how do you get there? And that's how you have to make your steps and your plans. How I'm going to get there? How am I get these leads? Just think, a lot of people who start business and they feel like, now what's next? I
Yep.
made this fancy web page. I got all this social media going, but guess what? I ain't got no followers. I ain't got nobody clicking on my page. That means I have to do a little work in order to get somebody to see me, to say, hey, I'm over here. So how do you do that? And it's going to actually, everything starts with a conversation. But you got to
Wow.
know how to actually have an effective conversation in order to get those people to say, you know what? I like her. You know what? She's real cool. I like her.
Yeah, yeah, we all want that. And like you said, that know, like, and trust factor is
Yes.
a big thing in
It's
that,
a big
right?
thing. Yes, yes. It's a huge thing.
Yeah. So Jackie says, just like the funny insurance commercial that has nothing to do with insurance.
Right. That's it.
Wow. Okay.
That Jackie, that's really it. That's really how you got to get people curious, because here's the thing about it is, if you look at most people who, you know, display their business or start talking about their business, I mean, depending on what industry you're in. I mean, some
Hmm.
of it works well, but some of it, especially if you're in multi-level marketing, people already got their heads up, like, oh my God, here we go. Here go another, maybe pyramid scheme or something of that nature. But you know what? I think, I'm telling you, people miss out on such a huge, hear me, huge opportunity when it comes to multi-level marketing.
Hmm.
It's not about really the whole product, because when somebody introduced you to a product, I'm sure you got into it because you liked it or it was something that you could use. But really, that is a community that is untapped. And believe
Okay.
me, all those people that are in that network marketing, some of it do it full time, some of it don't.
Hmm.
But you still have other things that you can do within that network marketing business that can still generate income for you.
Right.
But you
Right.
miss the opportunity because you like already shut it down because of what you think multi-level marketing is, when people really don't understand what multi-level marketing is.
Right. So would you consider that? Well, I guess that is just another type of networking.
It is
Just
another
another type of.
type of networking.
Okay. So I want to circle back to what you said when I mentioned the know, like, and trust factor. What can you speak on that?
I think people will only do business with that is so true, with who they know, like, and trust. But how do they get to know and like you is through the relationships that you build with them. It's like, again, like, it's that circle who you're around. It's that vibe. It's that energy. That's what you're giving out. people thrive on that. I mean, if you're excited and you got a lot of energy about what you're doing, that is going to attract a lot of people. And then they're going to be wanting to know exactly what do you do? Exactly
Okay.
what do you do? I mean, I probably traveled in this last year before COVID. I don't know. I probably went on maybe 12 trips. I'd been to Alaska. I'd been to uh, Australia. I'd been to Hawaii.
Wow.
I mean, I've been to a lot of different places, and people, that's the curiosity. How are you doing all this stuff, girl? Exactly what are
Uh,
you doing? But it's because people are always wanting to get the lifestyle. When they see something that's pretty shiny, just like we do when we go shopping, we see a cute dress or something, we're like, girl, I got to get that dress. It's kind of the same thing within our business and how we are actually building those relationships through what we're doing. And people ask questions. You want to do it such, you want to have such a presence that you don't have to say what you do and you don't have to go out and really solicit because people are going to be like, oh my God, what do you do?
wow. This is so good, Tandra. I'm telling you, this is so good that we all need to go over to conversations over coffee so
Yeah.
we can take part in this whole platform that will show us truly what networking is.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. But even before the COVID-19 came, I actually I'm a network avid. I may go to maybe about, maybe 15, 20 networking events within a week. And I
Mm,
happened to go to a networking event. It was like a senior citizen networking event. Now, take in mind, a friend of mine said, why are you going to a senior citizen networking event? I went because I tell you all the time the blessings in the show up. I went to that particular networking event and I got probably maybe 30 good leads out of that event from one lady that turned into some major sales for me. Just because I went and had a conversation. I wasn't going to try to sell my pitch to them or anything. I just happened to see she had a beautiful blouse on and we just had to start generating up an organic conversation.
wow, that's amazing.
Mhm.
And see, now let me just say this. Hey, Cynthia, thank you for joining us. Hey, Queenie. Everybody is saying, "Oh my goodness, wow!" with the example with you going to the senior citizen, because this is how we miss out because we think there's nothing over there. It
Yeah,
can't possibly
but I made my plan because when I win, what do senior citizens like to do most?
talk.
They like to talk. So if you grab you a good person that's a senior citizen and you sit down and you just having a regular conversation, and then the next thing they'll say, "Honey, what do you do, honey?" Don't they always say that? Honey, what do you do?
What you do, baby?
And people could not believe that. Do you know after I left that event, they did the event the next following month, and I had about half of those people that was like, "Oh, girl, I went to that event. I went to that event you just went to."
See? Oh my goodness. Wow. So let me ask you, does this work for everyone as far as being able to just engage like you are suggesting that we should engage? Like a person like me who's introverted, I'm not that natural talker unless I get to really know you.
You know what? This is what I always tell ladies. You know what? Go to networking in twos. Go in pairs because if you see somebody or if I see somebody, I can introduce you to that person. So for you, the
Okay.
person that really don't want to do a whole lot of talking, I can say, "Oh my God, meet such and such. He's with whatever, whatever," and I can say, "And oh my God, she does this. I mean, this is amazing. Oh my God, you two should hook up. You
Hmm.
guys should definitely set up. Get your phones out. I mean,
Okay.
I go to the next step because I try to get my appointment while I'm standing there. Get your phones out, you know, and then
Wow.
let's set an appointment. I mean, I got to go the extra step. People say I think you have two people. Either you can have networking you can either have an engine with you or an anchor with you.
Uh-oh.
And guess what? I'm gonna be the engine
You
because
the
I'm gonna make
engine.
sure you're gonna get somebody an anchor. It's gonna be that person gonna hold you down.
Oh
Be like,
Lord.
no, I'm gonna just go over here and give me some drinks, and I see you. You know,
I don't
yeah.
want to be an anchor. Wow, this is amazing. Anyone have any other questions for Tandra? All right, Jacqueline says, "Let's go, let's go." Jackie says she's going over to your page. She said, I'm going over there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm actually, like I said, I before the COVID-19, I was trying to build a community in Atlanta, so that's kind of going pretty well. I mean, Jacqueline, you know what? To give you some just a tidbit, I am going to be a part of a 2 day summit, which is called the language is rough, but it's called Badass Women in Business, and it's going to be on Friday and Saturday, June the 12th and 13th. And I'm telling you, there's going to be at least 30 topics that's going to be able to resonate with your business, with anybody's business. There's going to be some powerful ladies. It's a nice lineup. I actually talk at on Sunday at 6. So, I mean, if you want to get some more information about some other different things that can help you in your business, I would suggest, if you could tune in, go in and out, but just tune in and get some of that good nuggets.
Absolutely. And that was a great segue to what I was going to ask you next. What did you have coming up? So that's the virtual summit. That's June 11th and 12th?
June the 12th and
June the
13th.
12th and 13th?
It's this weekend, and
Okay,
I'll
the
be
weekend.
talking on Sunday. But yeah,
Okay.
jump on Friday if you can. I mean, the lineup is crazy, and really how that group came about. I'll be a part of that same group that's going to be going to Mexico to do their women's event. It's called Elevation Women. It's a group that we're all part of, and I'm telling you, it's dynamic. If you really want some good information and trying to go globally with your business, you want to connect with some global people.
Right. Yeah, you have to connect with people that are really outside of your regular circle. And
Yes.
and I know ever since that just joined the group, that we're a part of, that
Mhm.
I've been meeting some awesome people that are
Oh,
just
some phenomenal
outside
ladies.
of my regular group. So,
Okay.
yeah, and Jacqueline says, yes, it's on your page. So tell us how to get to conversation over coffee. She says she loves your energy.
So
Me
conversation
too.
over coffee, it's just that conversation over coffee. A lot of people put an S on it and they don't
Right. It's
stop
conversation.
over coffee. So yeah, go to the Facebook page. We have an
Let me put
Instagram
this up.
page as well, our IG page is Conversations Over Coffee. And then we have our website, which is conversationovercoffee.net. Um, we have those particular things going on. The next thing I have coming up is I launched my my membership program, which I am so excited about. It's going to be off the chain. It's going to be really good. The link will
Wow.
be out. I think the link will be out in the next couple of days. My social media person is just finishing it up, but I'm really excited about it. We have a lot of ladies that's already ready to sign up, but it's going to be some good stuff.
Awesome, Tandra. This is just great. You have dropped us some rich jewels tonight. Awesome. On networking that, I know I have a lot of work to do, and I can't wait to be able to partake. I know I'm already a part of your Conversation Over Coffee group,
Thank you.
and so I'm looking forward to sharing and, just giving and receiving. I don't want to be, what's that on my list? I don't want to be a getter. I don't
Or
want to
you
be
don't want to be an anchor either,
I don't want
honey.
to be an anchor. I don't want to be an anchor. I don't want to be a getter. So, I want to be able to push myself out, out of the boat and out of my comfort zone. Because
Yeah,
just like you said, the blessing is in the show up.
the blessings in the show up. It most definitely is.
Yes, indeed. So, is there anything else you want to share with us as far as the
Um,
importance of
well,
networking?
just real quickly, you have mentioned earlier. So I'm kind of founded on my 10 before 10 things.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So I just want to highlight on that really quickly. I think that the list really is different for each person, but after I ended up going through everything that I went through with my job, I said, listen, the most important thing that we have to do is start a routine. So I actually started figuring out really what it was I was doing that was going to be income producing activities for me. And that's kind of how that 10 came. You would get a list of things and you would come up with these particular items that are a money making activities. Okay.
Hmm.
If they'll make you money to help you pay your electricity bill and stuff, you cannot add it to the list.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So like things different. Like I start off in the morning with all my CRMs. I just push a button, there it goes. I start off with making at least 50 to 60 calls in the morning. So I
So
mean, there's different things that you have to put on your list that's going to be income producing activities. And that's how that 10 for 10 came. And it's a whole story about it. I mean, I know we don't probably have time, but I teach ladies really how to develop their list, stick it on their list, put it in front of them, and make sure that they are doing those particular things. So a lot of people feel like, got to get my mind right. It's got to be one of those things on there. We all got to get our mind right, but our mind should be right before we get to that list.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay. Right. Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean, like, so we should have already done our exercise, got our meditation done, all those things. I I consider not to be on my 10 for 10 list. But some
I'm s-
people feel like that's part of it. But those are things because 10 for 10 means guess what? I'm ready to start doing business. Because
okay.
if I say that I attend at least 20 networking events throughout the week, that means guess what? I got to be doing a whole lot of prospecting and money making activities before 10 o'clock. Because normally the first networking event normally starts about 7:38, right?
Wow. So you, oh wow. Oh,
So
I'm
that's
not
that
doing anything,
intention, passion,
Tandra.
and person and purpose that you have. I mean, you should already have all your lists, all your phone calls that you're making, all your CRMs that you're sending out. I mean, it's not time for Facebook and all that different type of stuff in the morning. So you just have to
Wow.
figure out what it is. And I always say, whatever don't pay your electricity bill or your water bill,
Can't
that
be
ain't
on
no
the list.
income producing activity.
Can't be on the list. Oh
And cannot
wow.
be on the list.
And you said that list is different for everyone. It could be
It's
different
different
for
for
everyone.
everybody because everybody's business is
It's
different.
different. Okay. Well, what that means, we just have to come on over to Conversation Over Coffee so we can just continue to get more and more of this good information to take our businesses to the next level and to meet other like minded people because the importance. It's very important because we have to have the same goals. We have to be
Mhm.
able to be, like you said, to be accountability for one another. Now,
Mhm.
Jacqueline said, um, are they paid networking events? Which ones, Jackie? The ones in conversations or what? She said, are they paid networking events?
Well, Conversation Over Coffee is it's free to attend that event. Now, however, the membership program, there'll be a small membership fee to be a part of that particular group.
Right. Okay. All right. So yeah, Jacqueline, those are free over at Conversation Over Coffee. And Carlika, Best Night Menendez, all of that says you.
Yeah. Check out the page. There's some really good stuff inside the page. I mean, like there's an we kind of teach you how to work all these networking groups that we're all I mean, I teach you kind of how to work all the networking groups that you're in to really, get you massive leads, but there's some really good stuff in there.
Okay. So Jacqueline says she was talking about the ones you attend weekly, the networking events you attend
That I was
weekly.
attending locally,
Yes, the ones you go
I go to
to.
all free events.
Yeah, all free. Okay.
Yeah, because I really feel now taking mine, I take that back because I have paid to be a part of some networking events, but very rarely because I feel like networking should be free because there's a lot of people out here to talk to.
Okay.
And there are
Absolutely.
some. I mean, there's some events that you do want to pay for, but if you're just out in the morning, I mean, I have my whole list ready. I'm telling you, before I'm out my door by 8 o'clock. So remember, I got to get my 10 before 10 things done because I am strategically looking to build my business and I have to be in front of people because we already know that it is a numbers game. So you have to talk and present to more people, but you got to do it quicker and faster.
Wow. It's an early bird that gets that worm, right? That's what they say. Wow. Well, this has been awesome.
Yes, thank you so much. I love so much for you let me come on and have an opportunity to share some of my stuff with you.
Yes, I'm so glad because just like I'm just blown away, so serious. I'm blown away that, networking encompasses all of this and, how you've broken it down and how you've just helped us along with this is, one step after the other that, I think that we're going to be able to apply this to each one of our businesses, everyone on here that I know, all of our businesses are in different arenas, you know, and so all of this can really help. Jacqueline says, you have been great. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you, Jacqueline.
Yes, Carlika says thank you. So this has been awesome. So we have your Facebook page, Conversation
Yes,
Over Coffee. We can just stop over there to see all of your events, to attend the event that you're going to be, um, this weekend. And we're
yes.
going to hear you speak on Sunday. And we're
This
looking
Saturday.
forward
I
this
speak on
Saturday. You
Saturday.
speak on Saturday?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I just suggest you guys, ladies, grab your pencil and paper, get some of that information that they're going to be dropping down. I mean, they're going to be talking about social media ways. They're going to be talking about, PR and why that's so important. I mean, it's going to be some good stuff.
Awesome. All right. Cynthia says, thank you for sharing. Absolutely. Okay. Well, if that is all, if you have nothing else to drop on us right now, I think we've got enough homework to do until this weekend, until we go on over to join the summit with you. So, ladies, thank you so much for joining the new Empowered Woman Show this week. This has been awesome with my guest, Tandra Price of Conversation Over Coffee. She's just giving us the power of networking. So if we don't grab a hold of it, we've got to show up because she says what you said, the power is in
The
the
blessing
blessing is in the show up.
show up.
Yes,
Yep.
indeed. And I want to share just one more because I told you I was taking notes, Tandra. You said it takes 7 to 8 touches before people will even consider buying our
Bye.
product or service.
Mhm.
So we've got to do a little more than just,
And you got to get your drip campaign going on.
your
You
drip
got to get a drip
campaign.
campaign going on.
Oh,
To make
see,
sure that you're staying in contact with them and you're sending them valuable information. I mean, there's different programs that have that, but like your sales funnel, it's all about getting your funnel filled up each time with people. So then they'll be keep coming out. The ones that are good are coming out. The ones that is going to purchase is going to purchase, and then they'll be your long lasting customer. But yeah, you have to get a campaign going on.
yeah, and we've heard a lot about all of that stuff. So we can find
Mhm.
out more about that over at Conversations. I promise
Yes,
you, right? All
yes.
right. So let's push on over there, ladies. Let's go on over there so we can, because we can go on and on about this and I won't be tired because I can take all the notes in the world. So I'm not going to hold Tandra any longer and all of the beautiful guests who have joined us tonight. So once again, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the new Empowered Woman Show this evening. We're looking forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place. And remember, New Empowered Woman, where the new is all about you. We'll see you next week.